Are you working with data? Then probably you're working with Microsoft SQL Management Studio and Server as well. And maybe you are working on some budget project where you don't have those fancy functions and you are using just SQL Express version. And you want to make that your stored procedures would start automatically? Well, yeah, SQL Express does not have this functionality. But I will show you how to do that. And actually it's quite easy. It's quite easy to do that. You can use Windows Task Manager Scheduler. Just create a stored procedure, type the name, and you're good to go. So let's jump in and see how to do this. Okay, so I'm on my server, and of course, first thing what you need to do is to create some kind of stored procedure. If you would go to programmatically, you would see stored procedures. So in this case, I have only one of a stored procedure. You can create it very easily. A new one, stored procedure, author, create date, description, doesn't really matter. These are parameters we don't need. Yeah, and this can be added later. Execute, commands completed successfully. Now let's refresh and we can see the procedure. Now let's close this window. Let's not save it. And let's modify. And as you can see, this one is slightly different from the previous one because that window was just for the creation of a procedure. And now you can type any procedures you want in here. I will not go through the creation of a procedures because there are too different, and usually people create procedures for any reason they would like. For example, you can check my video on the right top corner where I'm showing you how to create automated emails that they would be sent to employees. That's also a procedure, and you probably would want that those emails would be sent, let's say, on Friday evening, Sunday evening, well, on some kind of time of the period. So in this case, here is how you can find it, how you can create it, but let's skip the part where we are creating them. Once you have the procedures you would like to run automatically, well, you have them here. And the easiest way would be create a new folder in here. Let's call it procedures. In this folder, we will place files that are needed for the procedures to be run. What you need now, you need a Windows batch file. This is the file that runs, well, actually almost anything can be run through it, but you need a file that would show the path to your procedure and that Windows could run this file. You have a notepad, new window. Let's leave it empty now. Save as. Go to the new folder you have created. Call it procedure.bat. Can change it to all files, change the format, save. New file just appeared here. This is a Windows batch file, and the ending of the file is bat, like this. So you want to create a file and change the extension to this. Or you can actually go through new text document, test. As you can see, it's still a text file. You need to change the extension of a file. So for that, you would need to add a new column, which is file extension. Press OK. Now we can see the extensions in here, and we can see that this one is bat and this one is just a simple txt file. But that's not all. If you want to change the extension of a file, you have to change the setting that it would show the extension of each file. Let's go to View, check the file name extensions, and as we can see, this is bat, this is txt as well. So basically it's not even necessary to add this additional column. You can check that one. And now if we delete the txt and leave just bat, yes, we have another Windows batch file which we can use for our stored procedure running. Now once we have the file created, another quite important, actually very important thing is to type what we have to run from this file. Don't double click on the file, press right mouse button and press edit, otherwise it will run. First, of course, you have to show what you want to run. So SQL CMD. This means Microsoft SQL Management CMD console. Then another parameter where it's located. So in our case, it's located on the server, so we just leave local host. It's not necessary to type the name of the database if you have just one database or you want to run everything from that one default databases, because if you don't type the name of the database, everything will be run from your default database. So in this case, we want to change it because we have created procedure in this one. And next, we have to type the name of a procedure. So you have to add it in semicolons and execute and the name of the procedure. So in this case, no, this is not the procedure we want to run. Again, let's check what procedures we have in here, and we have test procedure. Actually, we can copy the name and paste the name. Let's delete the brackets. But that's not all. We can add some additional parameters. I will not go through all of them, but there are a couple of more. Let's just add that log file would be logged once the procedure is run. If you want to see the logs for procedures that were run, we have to add parameter that starts with letter O, add the path where we would like the procedure to be stored. So in this case, we want it to be here. Paste it, copy, paste it. Then of course we have to type the name of the file we want it saved. Let's call it test procedure.txt. Now let's save it. And that's about all for the part 1 of our work we're doing. Next, let's open Windows Task Manager and let's try to make this happen automatically. Press start button, type task scheduler. Once we have a task scheduler, we can see if we have any procedures already created. Just press on task scheduler library, and actually yes, we have some. I already created them before, but let's create a new one. Press on create task. Let's call it test procedure. It's not necessary to add the description, and of course select that it would run even if the user is not logged in, because probably you're not planning to be logged to the server 24/7, right? Next, let's go to triggers, new, and now we can select how often we want that our procedure would start. One time, well, it will start only once, so think if you really want it. Because you can just start the procedure manually, so maybe it's not necessary. In our cases, if you want that procedure would start at some specific time, and this option is good to go. Let's do it weekly. We can select the day, let's say Sunday. If you would want to have a procedure to be repeated every, let's say 1 hour, even it can be even 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes. Let's say you have something very important that has to be renewed very often. Then this is a really good option for you. If you select indefinitely, it will be repeated until you stop this procedure. Also, you can set the expiration date and stop the task if it's taking longer than some time. It has to be a really big procedure or a really slow server that this would be important. So in this case, we are not selecting it. Begin the task. You can select some other options in here, but we'll stay with the option on a schedule, as we want that procedure to be run once a week automatically at the same time. Once you select the options you would like to have for your procedure to be run, press OK, and we can see weekly, every Sunday, every week, starting, well, today. Next, let's go to the actions. Press new, start a program, yes. Press browse, let's go to the folder we have created, procedures, and let's select procedure bad. This one, okay, open. You can add some additional arguments in here, but we don't need that. So start a program, script, okay. And you can add more procedures to one window if you would like to have. Now for the conditions, usually I take this check mark off, but as this is a server, so it does not really matter. But just in case, usually I just take it off. And this one is also not really necessary. If we go to the settings tab, we can see some more additional settings, but for now we don't need any of them. Press OK. Now you'll have to type your password for the task to be confirmed. And we have a new procedure in here. Test procedure. Let's try to run the procedure. We can do that manually as well, especially when we are testing something. Well, for now it's empty, nothing will happen, but still you can run it to see if everything works fine. As you can see, it says running. Let's refresh. It says ready. Let's go to history and we can see that action was completed. And that's about all. This is how easy you can create a stored procedure and make it run automatically on server SQL Express version, which is free and it's good for small projects or learning or anything like that. And of course, if you're doing something that you want the procedure would repeat repeatedly, this is a good way to do that for free. So, thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. Don't forget to like and press that bell button on the screen. If you like the video, please like it. If you don't, well, dislike it. And let me know what other videos you would like to see in the future. Also, my patrons get some additional stuff and perks, so please consider checking that page as well. So, thank you for watching. See you next time. I will not go through the procedures again to be runs